portion, we would be talking about the geological time scale with a special reference to India. Now, as you can see in this diagram, if we try to go in a fashion from the oldest to the newest, we would see that we evolved from the Phanerozoic era, then came Archean, then there was Mesozoic, then you have the Cenozoic, which has been divided into Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene and Miocene. Finally, there was the phase of Neogene, that is Paleocene and Pleistocene, and the present day which evolved after the Chalcolithic, Bronze and Iron Age. So that's a kind of evolution that we will understand in this lecture. So as you can see, the northern portion of India is mainly the Quaternary deposits. This section, mainly the Indo-Gangetic plains. However, the section towards the southern region is Proterozoic and the Archean era. So most of the Deccan Plateau region, I would say, is of the origin of Archean phase. Now, if we try to divide our study into eras and periods, so these are the eras and these are the periods. So we will be understanding Indian geology in 4 basic eras: the Precambrian, Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic. Under Precambrian, we would be talking about the Archean and the Dharwar. We would also include parts of Kudapa and Vindhyan in the Precambrian. Then you have Paleozoic. We will be dividing it as upper and lower. Mesozoic as Gondwana and Carboniferous, and finally Cenozoic as Tertiary and Quaternary. Quaternary is of the recent origin. So we will be understanding all these eras divided under the periods in a systematic form. So we will start with the oldest. So this is the oldest and we will move towards the newest. So if a question is asked, the newest era or the most recent era is Cenozoic, the most recent period is Quaternary, the most ancient or oldest geological era would be Precambrian, and the oldest period would be Archean. Now if we try to start in a systematic form, we will start with the oldest to the newest. So we will have a basic idea how things evolved in India. Now under the Precambrian, we will first study the Archean system. Before that, Precambrian composes around 2/3 of the peninsular region, especially the Archean system. And Archean system is one of the oldest system. It runs from Aravallis in the west to the Himalayan, the southern region of the Himalaya in the east, that's the Meghalayan plateau. Then this system has been further divided into 3 genesis: the Bengal, Bundelkhand and Nilgiri. Bundelkhand genesis in Uttar Pradesh, you have Baghelkhand, which is part of Bundelkhand in MP. Then you have parts of Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Nellore, Salem, which are parts of Bundelkhand genesis. Bundelkhand genesis is known for its coarse grain deposits and quartzite veins. While Bengal genesis is known for thin foliated deposits, it's mostly found in most of the parts of Bengal. Midnapur, Hazaribagh, Nellore are some of the other regions surrounding West Bengal where you could see Bengal genesis. And finally Nilgiris in the southern region, you have again the deposits of coarse grains and chalconites that are found in Nilgiri deposits. The next is the Dharwar system. Now Dharwar system is a part of the Proterozoic phase under the Precambrian. So this has been further subdivided into numerous series. So there are around 9 series that Dharwar system is being divided into. Now the most important phenomena of the Dharwar system is this system has sedimentary rocks. It is of the geosyncline formations. So you have geosyncline formations, sedimentary rocks. That is the basic characteristic of Dharwar system. Now similar to Dharwar system, you have the extinction of Rajputana in the parts of Rajasthan. Then similar to Rajputana, you have 2 further extensions which are known as Vaikhrita. Vaikhrita is the extension in the Kumaon and the Spiti region in Uttaranchal, and then you have the Darling. That's the extension in the Sikkim and the Shillong region in northeast. So these are the three basic extensions of the Dharwad system. Now Dharwad system has been further subdivided into numerous series. The Champion series is the most important, known for its gold deposits in Kolar area. So you have the Kolar gold mines which are known, and the whole region around Kolar gold mines and the northeast Mysore forms the Champion series, and this Champion series is one of the major series because Dharwad system is also known for its metalliferous deposits. So you have numerous deposits with presence of metal, the metal mainly in the form of gold in Champion series. The next is Champaner series, found in the areas of Aravlis. So Aravlis, you have Vadodara as a major region where you have the Champaner deposits. The deposits are mainly in the form of conglomerates and quartzite. The next is Closepit deposits found in Balghat and Chhindwara. So you have Balghat and Chhindwara in Madhya Pradesh for both these Closepit and Chipli deposits. However, Chipli deposits is known for its grits and phyllite ore, and Closepit is known for its copper pyrites. So Closepit is known for copper depositions, while Chipli is known for quartzite deposits along with phyllites. The next is iron ore series, as the name suggests, rich in iron ore. So Singbambam, Mayurbhanj, Bonai are the major areas of iron ore mining, which provides iron ore supplies to major industries around. The next is Kondalite deposits. Kondalite deposits is found in Eastern Ghats from north till Krishna river. So Krishna river basin would be the final point for the Kondalite deposits, rich in Kondalites and Genesis rocks. The next is the Rialo series. Rialo series is also known as Delhi series. It runs from Delhi to Alwar. So Delhi to Alwar, the whole belt is known as Rialo series, and this series is famous for its marble. Bhagwanpura and Makrana are the major areas that fall under the Rialo series of Dharwad system. The next is Sakol series. Sakol series is the Jabalpur Rewa region, known for its mica deposits. In Madhya Pradesh, you have the Jabalpur and Rewa region, which are known for its mica deposits that fall under Sakol series, and finally Saucer series in Nagpur and Bandra region, known for its quartzite and mica. So you have the Nagpur and the Bandra region of Maharashtra. So these are some of the series that are the most important series under Dharwad system. The next is the Kudapa series or the Kudapa system. The Kudapa system is the region of Andhra Pradesh, which is the Kudapa region. So you have again Kudapa region divided into numerous series, which we will be discussing one by one. However, the Kudapa system is also known as the Purana group. It's again Purana in Hindi means ancient, so it's one of the ancient systems known for its sedimentary and metamorphic rock deposits. Despite of the Dharwad system, which is mainly sedimentary and syncline deposits, Kudapa system is a kind of mix of sedimentary and metamorphic. So you have sedimentary and metamorphic rocks that are commonly seen in this region. Then you have lots of minerals that are present under Kudapa system. You have asbestos, mica, manganese are some of the prevalent minerals in this system. Now we will be talking about these series one by one. So you have Papagani. Papagani is the major center of the series, that is the Kudapa itself in the Andhra Pradesh region. Then you have the Cheriyar series around the Cheriyar river. The Nalamalai series around the Nalamalai hills, the Krishna series around the Krishna river. You have Bijwara series, that's along the Chhatarpur and the Panna districts in Madhya Pradesh. So you have Chhatarpur and Panna in Madhya Pradesh, known for its diamond mining. Then you have the Gwalior series around Gwalior, that's in the Madhya Pradesh. Rajpur series, common in the areas of Durg, Bilaspur and Rajpur. You have Kadai series in Bijapur, in Bijapur, Karnataka. So now the important thing to note is Kudafa, mainly known as a series of Andhra Pradesh, is not confined to Andhra Pradesh. It is spreading from the regions nearby to Andhra Pradesh, that's Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, and the nearby areas. Palaka series around the Penganga river. You have Ajabgarh series around the Ajabgarh hills in Rajasthan, and finally the Rialo series, again the Delhi Alwar region known for its marble mining, also known as Delhi series. The next is the Vindhya series. Now the Vindhyan system, which is again a part of the Precambrian system. If we move on to the eras that we have discussed, there were 4 parts of the Precambrian. We have already discussed 3 of those: the Archean, the Dharwad, the Kudafa, and finally you have the Vindhyas. Vindhyas is a plain between Ganga and the Deccan region. So you have the Ganga river and the Deccan plateau. The region between Ganga and Deccan plateau would be called as the Vindhyan region. Vindhyan region is again known for its sedimentary deposits and for the layers that have been buried under the Deccan lava for years and years. Now this Vindhyan system is further subdivided into various series. It's known for mainly again diamond mining, and it's again the region of the Great Boundary Fault. Now the first is the Semri series. Semri series is around the Son Valley river. You have Kurnool series, that is around the Gulbarga and the Bijapur region in Karnataka. The Bhima series around the Bhima river, which is again a tributary and drains the Gulbarga and the Bijapur region. You have Malni series around the Malni hills and the Jodhpur region. The Kaimur series, that's around the Bundelkhand and the Bagelkhand region. The Bundelkhand in Uttar Pradesh, Bagelkhand in Madhya Pradesh. The region surrounding Bundelkhand and Bagelkhand would be the Kaimur series, the Rewa series in Madhya Pradesh, and Bhadar series again in Madhya Pradesh, known for its sandstone deposits. Now the next is Paleozoic phase. Paleozoic phase, as we saw, is divided into 2 periods, Upper Paleozoic and Lower Paleozoic. There are some of the basic things that you must know about the Paleozoic era. First is the Pangaea was broken. We have already talked about what is Pangaea and Penisthalesia under the class in continental rift. So Pangaea got broken under the Paleozoic phase, and there was origin of the Tethys Sea. So you have Tethys Sea which originated under the Paleozoic phase. Now if I talk about the extension, you have the extension from Kashmir, UP and Himachal Pradesh. Under Kashmir you have the Kashmir hills, the Spiti area, the Handwara, the Pindwara and the Handwara region along with the Leader Valley. Under the Uttar Pradesh you would have the Uttarakhand, you have the Garhwal and the Kumaon hills, and under the Himachal Pradesh you would have the region is spreading from Shimla, Kangra and the Spiti hills. Now the lower Paleozoic and the upper Paleozoic are the 2 main eras that we would be discussing here. The lower Paleozoic includes the salt range in Punjab. That's the main region that it focuses on. It's mainly focusing with the fossiliferous sediments that have been deposited over the years under this region. It's known for its worm burrows and the subaerial weathering in this region. The next is the upper Paleozoic phase. The upper Paleozoic phase is further subdivided, or I could say is known for its limestone rocks. So you have the grey limestone rocks, the black limestone rocks, and finally you have the Devonian phase, Devonian period, under which you would have formation of fossils and presence of corals. The black limestone is found in the Chitral region, while the grey limestone is found under the central Himalayan region. So these are some of the elements of Paleozoic, the upper and the lower. The lower also includes some of the phases like Ordovician and the Silurian periods under the lower Paleozoic phase. The next is the Mesozoic. Under Mesozoic we classified it as 2 groups. The first was the Gondwana group and the next was the Carboniferous groups. So when I say the Mesozoic period, it says the middle period, and this Mesozoic period is known for fossils mainly in the form of invertebrates, and it's the middle phase, I could say, for the geological evolution. So these are two of the main characteristics of Mesozoic era. Under Mesozoic, it was further divided into three: the Triassic, Jurassic and Cretaceous. Triassic included the Ceratite beds or the Ceratite rocks. Then you have Jurassic, that was again divided into middle and upper. So you have mid-Jurassic and upper Jurassic. The mid-Jurassic included the limestone rocks, the Kyoto limestone rocks, and the upper Jurassic included the Spiti and the Kumaon regions. Then you have the Cretaceous formations, that was mainly the outburst of the lava and the transgression of the sea. Transgression of sea. Now this Mesozoic spread not only in the northern regions, but it also spread in the southern regions. So in the southern region, you had four kinds of regions that were demarcated. That was Ninur. The next was Trichinopoly. The third was the Ariulur. And the fourth was the Uttara. And this was known for its phosphate deposits. Now, besides these four divisions that were demarcated for the South India, the basic classification was as Gondwana groups and Carboniferous period. So, the Gondwana period, as the name suggests, was known for its coal formations. So, lots of coal in the form of fossils got buried in this region. It was under the lower Gondwana period, that was the Talcher region and the Damodar region. Then there was the region that was rich in iron ore. So you had the Raniganj coal fields which surrounded the iron ore regions. There were various series under which they were divided. The first is the Talcher series in Odisha. The Damodar series, that was the middle Gondwana period in the regions of Siliguri and Korba. Siliguri and Korba. You have the Barkara river, Barkara series around the Barkar river. That was the Jhanva area mainly, surrounding the Jharkhand region. You have Panchet, that was part of Madhya Pradesh or the extension of the Raniganj. Then you have the Mahadev series around the Mahadev hills in Madhya Pradesh, Rajmahal series in Bihar and Jharkhand. Then you have Jabalpur series in Madhya Pradesh, and finally the Umal series in Gujarat. Now next to Gondwana was the Carboniferous period. So under the Carboniferous period, there was mainly two phases, that was the Upper Carboniferous and Lower Carboniferous. The Upper Carboniferous was known as Po. So Carboniferous era, you had upper and lower. The upper was known as Po and the lower was known as Lipak. And this Lipak was later on extended with the Aryan period. So these were some of the major phases under Carboniferous period. As the name suggests, the rocks was mainly in the form of shales. So deposition of shales was common under Carboniferous period. Some of the major features of Carboniferous was eruption of lava. It was a kind of beginning of the ice age, that was called. So it was known as a beginning period for the ice age. So eruption of lava, then you have evolution of men was again a major characteristics of this phase. After Carboniferous, which was part of the Mesozoic phase, started the Cenozoic phase. The Cenozoic, which is the most recent and was divided into two, the Tertiary, that was the older, and finally the Quaternary, that was the most recent. So Quaternary was the most recent and older to Quaternary was the Tertiary deposits. So this, the end of Carboniferous led to beginning of Cenozoic phase. Now Cenozoic phase, we'll first discuss the tertiary period. Tertiary period was the period of upliftment of Tethys and breaking down of the Gondwana plateau. So you have the breaking down of the old Gondwana and upliftment of Tethys. That upliftment of Tethys led to origin of Himalayas. So origin of Himalayas, and this tertiary period accounts for around 66 million years ago. So that's a kind of very recent in the field of evolution. Then you had the Eocene, the mid-Eocene and the post-Paleocene period that was witnessed during the tertiary phase. And this tertiary phase, you had each of these periods, like Eocene was the upheaval of Himalayas, the greater Himalayas. So Eocene focused on greater Himalayas. Then you have the Miocene, that was the folding of the lesser Himalayas. So Miocene, you have folding of lesser Himalayas, and finally you have the Paleocene, that was the outer Himalayas or the Shivaliks. So Paleocene, you had outer Himalayas or Shivaliks. So these are some of the eras that were part of the, these are some of the periods which were part of the tertiary phase. Then came the quaternary phase, which is the most recent, and this was further subdivided into three. You have the alluvial deposits, the lacustrine deposits. Now as the name suggests, alluvial deposits is known for the alluvium that has been deposited. Lacustrine deposits are due to the lake formation, and finally you have the region of Kashmir Valley. Now under the alluvium deposits, it was two, Bhangar and Khadar. So Bhangar and Khadar are the two types of soil. Bhangar is the old soil and Khadar is the new soil. Khadar is the soil mainly found in the floodplain regions. Then you have the lacustrine deposits as mentioned. It was known as Karevas in the region of Pir Panjal, and mainly surrounding the water bodies. This region rich in lacustrine deposits is also rich in the production of saffron, almond and walnuts. And finally you have the Kashmir Valley region. It has lot of moraines and Karawa deposits with the flow of glacier that comes down. The major region is the Jhelum, the Pir Panjal, the region surrounding the northern belt of Himalayas would be lying under the Kashmir Valley. So these are all part of the quaternary deposits. Now quaternary deposit was also known for its the ice age and the glaciation of the northern hemisphere. So with this we cover the basic idea of geological time scale in India. We will be covering more lectures related to geomorphology, geography of India as well as climatology in the further classes. You can subscribe to our channel for any further updates. Have a good day.